This video is part 2 of a 2-part introduction video to a new simulated baseball game called National Pastime 3. In part 1 of this video, the game opened up to a tab called Play Game, and we didn't need to do any type of setup. We just started clicking this roll dice button and we started playing the game right away. But what happens if we wanted to select two teams of our choice? So let's come over to the Starting Lineups tab. And on this tab, we can select the teams we wish to use. I'm going to select the Tigers, and I'm going to select the Twins. Now, these lineups are called the suggested lineup. Each team comes with one lineup. However, you're free to create your own lineups. You also can make changes to the suggested lineup. Let's double-click on the Tiger lineup card, and now we have a form that shows all the available players. If we hover over the player and right-click, we can get a visual presentation of his card, and this may help us in determining who we want to play. You also can click on the card to hide it. Now let's say we want Northrup to play right field. So we just click on his name, drag him over, and drop him in the place of the order we want him to bat. And if we want to make some in-lineup changes, say we want K-Line to bat third, and we want Cash to bat fourth. And for this game, we're going to have McLean pitch. So that's how easy it is to create a lineup. Now, if we want to save this lineup because we anticipate using it in a future game, we come down to this box and we type in a name. We can give it any name we wish, and we can save it and use it for this game. Oh, okay, so here's a warning. It's saying that I'm missing a first baseman. I have 2 second basemen. Well, when I brought Cash back over, I typed in a 4 instead of a 3. So let's change that to a 3. And we're going to save this lineup. And now we have 2 lineups. The default lineup, which is called the suggested lineup, and then the lineup that we just created called the demo. And this is the lineup we want to use. And again, you can make as many lineups as you wish. There's no limitation. Same with the Twins. We just double click. We can view cards. And we can make changes. Let's say we want Don Michener to play first base and bat fifth, and we're going to move Killebrew from first base to third base. Killebrew can play first and third, and Michener can play first or the outfield. Now, we're not required to save this lineup. We can use it for this one game, or if we want to use it in the future, we'd have to click, drag, and change the positions. But we're just going to use this lineup for this particular example, and we're not going to save it. And that's it. Now we just click Start Game, and we're all ready to go. Okay, let's have a batter or two bat, and we'll have Don Wert. We'll click on the Roll Dice button. And he has a play result number of 35, and that's a potential error. We need to roll the dice again, and that's a foul out to third base. Next batter is Jerry Lumpy, and he has a dice roll of 5-3. He reaches first on an error. Now, next batter is Al K-Line. Say we wanted to pinch hit for K-Line. How would we go about doing that? Well, we come over to the lineup card, and we highlight K-Line's name, and we double-click. This presents us with a list of available players, and if we want to view their cards, and again to help us decide who we want to use, we just click on this display card button and we just highlight the player. In addition, if we want to see how that player is performing within our replay, we just right click on his name, and in my replay, Gates Brown is 6 for 25 as a pinch hitter, batting .240. The rest of the statistics are all the other games he's played. So these games, you can see he started, and then these at bats, he looks like I used him as a pinch hitter. So these are the last 15 games. Same with Jake Wood. As a pinch hitter, he's 11 for 30. and these are his statistics overall. Let's say I want to use Jake Wood as a pinch hitter. I just double click on his name, click the OK button, and in the game log, Wood pinch hits for K line. So we have one out, Lumpy on, Jake Wood is the batter. Let's do a hit and run. And it looks like that Jake Wood swung and missed at the pitch. He failed to hit it, and the runner Lumpy was out stealing. So runner on first caught stealing. So now we have one strike on Wood with 2 out. Next dice roll is a 4-2, which is a play result of 36, and that's a ball. So we have 1 ball and 1 strike on Jake Wood. And now we have 1-1, which is the first column 0. That means we get to roll the dice again, and we will read from the second column. And the second dice roll is a 41, and a 41 is a play result 8, and that's a single. So we have 1 on at first with 2 out. Next batter is Norm Cash, 5-2, and that's a ground out, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. Now this dialog box popped up. The reason it popped up is that we use Wood as a pinch hitter for K-line. Wood pinch hits for K-line, and K-line was a center fielder. So if we were to keep Wood in the game, he goes out to play center field, but Wood is an infielder. So we have a choice. We can keep Wood in the game, and this would be his rating, or we can replace Wood. So let's look to see who would we replace Wood with if we wanted to. We double click on his name, and we bring up the list, and again we can display cards. So Gage Brown can play the outfield, Don Demeter can play the outfield. So let's use Don Demeter. We'll double click on his name, change the player, and so now Demeter replaces Wood in center field. So let's have the Twins batter 2 is Orover Saiz, and he has a play result of 1-4, which is a 43, and that's a potential error. 22 is outside this range, so it's not an error. It's a fly out. Now let's say we wanted to we wanted to bring in a relief pitcher. Well, that works the same way as the pinch hitter. We come over to the pitcher, Denny McLain, and we just double click on his name. And again, we're presented with the list of available players. And again, we can view their cards. And also we can review their statistics. So let's take a look at Terry Fox. We right click, and these are all the games he's pitched. He's been in 38 games. He hasn't started any. He has 18 saves and 8 blown saves. And this is a list of the games he's participated in as a pitcher. Again, we can look at other pitchers. So let's double click on Fox, and we'll make a pitching change. And now Fox is in, and there's 1 out, and Jimmy Hall's the batter. And the dice roll of 5-3 is a play result 17. That's a single. Batter to second, error on the right fielder. So we have a hit and an error. Hall's on at second. Okay, I'm going to stop this particular game, and I'm going to show you how to use the as-played schedule. That's another option. The games I've showed you so far in these 2 videos, I showed you how you could select your own teams, create your own lineups, etc. But I also exposed you to this grid called as-played schedule. Now in my replay, I'm using the as-played schedule. So how would we bring the existing lineups, or the lineups rather used in 1965, into a game? We don't need to go over to the starting lineups and double click and drag and drop all the players. We can have the computer do it for us. So let's start a new game. This game, I'm not going to save it. And let's come over to the as played schedule, and let's filter this grid, and by filtering it we could see where I left off within my replay. So I'm going to click on A for American League teams, and I'm going to click on N for games not played. So this is my next game, the Indians and the Tigers. Now again, I'm using this grid as a guide. I am not required to use it. I'm not even required to use the starting lineups. But in my replay, I decided to use this grid and to use the actual lineups. So with the game highlighted, all I need to do is click this button. That's all that needs to be done. And all these players will be transferred over into the game. So I click on the button, and then I'm going to be transferred over to the Play Game tab. And there are the lineups that were used on that day in 1965, September 21st. Terry against Stottlemyre. Hauser leading off for the Indians, Richardson for the Yankees. There we go. Terry, Stottlemyre, Hauser, and Richardson. Now we're ready to play. Now another feature of the game is that all of the statistics that are kept for you are displayed here and they're live. So Dick Hauser is up. He comes into the game batting .204. This is Stottlemyre's line. Again, within the replay. He has a 3.12 earned run average, and his batting average against is .236. So let's have Hauser bat, and again his average .204, Stottlemyre's batting average against .236. And Hauser's first at bat 6-3 is a 31, and that's a flyout. Now let's come over to the live box score. Hauser is still batting at .204, so that one at bat didn't affect his statistics. Let's try another batter. Next batter is Davalillo. There we go. Davalillo came into the game batting .294. Now it looks like he's going to get a hit. So he has a first column 0, so we get to roll the dice again. And then the second dice roll is a 24, and that's a double. So Davalillo's on second base. Stottlemyre has faced 2 batters, given up a hit, so his batting average against has moved to .237. And we go to the box score. Davalillo was batting .294, now he's batting .296. 1 for 1 with a double. And again, all the statistics are kept for you, and also when you play a game, the box score is live, and so is the statistics displayed for each batter and for the pitcher. So Davalillo is on. Next batter is Leon Wagner. Came into the game batting .287. And he has a play result of 29, and that's a ground out. So now Stottlemyre is down to .236. Colavito the batter. There's a potential error, and he's retired. Same thing on the other side. We have Terry. These are his statistics. 182 innings pitched, 19 walks. It's very good control. If we come over to look at Terry's ratings, he is a ZZ pitcher, and that's the control rating. That's a very good rating. As you can see, the statistics reflect that. Now I'm going to be making additional videos describing all different aspects of the game. I'm going to get into the ratings. I'm going to get into the fielders, their ratings. I'm also going to have a video on the pitcher's durability or his fatigue factor. All of this is built into the game and is part of the advanced features that were created by Skeetersoft. And that will conclude the introduction video.